What's going on, brothers and sisters? This is the Watcher coming to you with another video. Also go by Michiana Area Israelites. Salaki. Michiana Area Yasharala, which Yasharala is Israel. Okay. Which I always like to state before I start my video or the topic I'm about to talk about. All right. Michiana Area. Michiana Area Yasharala. Okay, my other channel. This subject I'm gonna talk about today, I'm gonna call this video hood movies. All right. This thought just came to me while I was doing my job. I'm at work right now. I'm on break. Okay. I thought about titling it 90s movies, 90s hood movies. I'm gonna just say hood movies. Okay. Before I get started, I just want to give all praises to the Most High. Peace and blessings to you brothers and sisters out there who come to know who the true Hebrew Israelites are, which are the Negroes, and you're seeking the Heavenly Father until the return of the Son. All right, which is Yahweh Shah. Like I was saying, I want to title this video "Hood Movies." This thought just came to me, man. A lot of movies that I've watched through my younger years, my adolescent years, as I came into this truth, I thought about how like a lot of the movies, man, had a big influence, had a positive influence, man. It had some sort of consciousness in there to make young black people think about what they're doing or how they're growing up in the hood, man. But for most of us, we didn't take heed to it. Okay, we didn't look at the message that was being sent, that was being brought in those movies, like Boys in the Hood, Fly, Menace to Society, New Jack City, Juice. Let's see, Juice. I know it's some more. Let's see. Master P's. I'm About It. Shoot, flies. Dang. What else? Ooh, man. Above the Rim. Let's see, Poetic Justice. Okay. Clockers. That's a Spike Lee movie. It's so many of them. South Central. Man, it's so many of them during the time of the 90s, the whole decade of the 90s, all the way up until like the early 2000s, mid 2000s. You know, as far as I can remember, what I watched and what I grew up on, a lot of the movies, man, they had a lot of messages in them, man. A lot of them hood movies, but we didn't take heed to the message. We didn't take heed to what was being said, man. We was influenced by Ice Cube as he played Doughboy, you know, calling the women bitches and hoes. All right, influenced by Old Dog, you know, how he robbed the convenience store, you know. Hey nigga, clean the gas register. You know what I'm saying? We was influenced by that. You know what I mean? Man, you acting like a little bitch right now. You know, this nigga scared. You know what I'm saying? All them hood movies, man. We was influenced by the negative side of it. All right. We didn't take heed to what was the message that was being brought forth out the movies, man. For example, Boys in the Hood. You know, Lawrence Fishburne, how he He was out there preaching, man, out there telling them the truth about gentrification. Okay? How they put all the drugs, how the drugs, it's like how the drugs is being put in the black neighborhoods, the drugs and the guns, okay, and the liquor stores, and we kill ourselves. And the property value gets brought up more once, you know, the Negroes is pushed up out of there, okay? He talked about how, yeah, the drugs and the guns and liquor stores are how they flooded the black community, okay? And he says they want us to kill ourselves, which is true, which is facts, man. All right? It goes a long way. You know, that movie came out in '91. That was a deliberate setup move, man, by the government itself, all right? And they showed that in Panthers, okay, which is another so-called hood movie about the Black Panthers, okay? I don't really want to call that a hood movie because that was a true movie about the Black Panthers, all right? I kind of lost my train of thought. Sorry. I was saying about how Lawrence Fishburne, how he was saying that, how they put the drugs and the guns and the liquor stores in the community to kill ourselves, and they showed that they showed that in Panthers at the end of it about how they were going to flood the neighborhoods with dope, okay, heroin, and this took place. This was in the '60s, all right. So that was like a message, man, a positive message, like in "Don't Be a Menace," you know, message, okay. The positive side of the movies, man, the message that was being forth out of the movies, even though it's entertainment, but still, that it's a message within the movies that you can look into and that are true, okay. Menace to Society, the beginning, okay, how after the convenience store, after Old Dog robbed the convenience store and he killed the 2 Koreans, okay, the where Kane, he talked about first there was the riots and then the drugs, okay, because in the '60s, man, that whole decade, man, was like I mean, like a lot of real old school people, man, they'll tell you, man, the '60s was no joke, man. Matter of fact, the one guy just died. I think his name is John Lewis or something like that. It's supposed to be somewhat like a civil rights activist. All right, the whole '60s, man, that was a decade to remember, you know. But it was a beautiful time as well, man, to show the true side of what America really was, man. A hypocritical nation, man. Okay. You had the Vietnam War going on at that time, and black people started to rise, man, because of the BS that was taking place, man. Before that, man, unjust laws, man, you know, man, flies, man. Sorry, brothers and sisters. Should go to another spot. Matter of fact, I don't want to keep swiping these flies off while I'm doing this video, but I don't want to get by all that noise neither. All right, stick it right here. Try it right here. Salaki, brothers and sisters. But what was I saying about the '60s? That was a hell of a decade. And before then, before the 60s, man, a lot of stuff that took place, a lot, like I said, yeah, a lot of the unjust laws, how the so-called white man, white people were killing Negroes and getting away with all the murders, man. Emmett Till, okay? You had the Charles Stanley Jr., the Mississippi Burning, the movie Mississippi Burning. That was actually a real life story. And I'm quite sure there's numerous of others, crimes that didn't get solved, of Negroes being killed, hung, lynched, okay? From the 30s all the way up until like the 50s, the 60s, which is still taking place. Lynchings are still taking place, but around the 60s, man, our people got tired of it and tried to stand up. All the marchings, the freedom fighters, okay? You had the riots, the Watts riots. You had leaders, so-called leaders, like Malcolm X, all right, Martin Luther King Jr., all right, the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? You had all that in the 60s at that time, man. A hell of a decade, man. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't want to really get off topic as far as the hood movies, but the 60s was a hell of a time, man. And that movie Menace to Society kind of talked about it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But as a people, man, majority of the people, we didn't take heed to that, man. We wasn't influenced by that, man. Okay. Juice, man. Juice. It was more sad than anything, but the positive message about that, about how, you know what I'm saying, the guns, okay, the guns was like Lawrence Fishburne said in Boys in the Hood, was meant for us to kill each other, man. When Tupac had got a hold of the gun, man, he went berserk, man. He killed his own friend and tried to kill the rest of his homies, man. The power of that gun, man, the power of that weapon, what it can do to you. And at the end, my man said, yo, now you got the juice now. My man just looked at him like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause in his heart he know that's not what it's about, man. All right. To gain a reputation, cause you got a gun. You know what I'm saying? But like I said again, we didn't look at the positive message. We looked at Pop, Riverside, motherfucker. You know what I mean? New Jack City, man. New Jack City, man. How Nino Brown turned a project home into a crack house, man. Even though that's not a decent way of living, the project housing, still he tore down the communities by setting up crack spots, man, and killing our people. All right. And then the sad part about the movie at the end, where he killed G Money, his own homie. Okay. The message behind that, what money can do to you, how it can turn on your loved ones, your homies, man, how it changes you. And there's so many others, man. I want to keep talking, but I don't think I have enough time, man. This is a beautiful topic, man, about how there were messages in a lot of those hood movies within the 90s, and I'm quite sure it was more back then, but I felt like the 90s played a bigger part of it. Because before that, you had the 80s movies, one 80s movie that come to mind that was that had a message to it, that was like a positive, I guess you can kind of say, influence, or something to make you think, was like Do the Right Thing. But it kind of left you with a blank thought. But police harassment, the police killed Radio Raheem, and just a lot of racial tension. Okay, and then you had the 70s. A lot of 70s, the black exploitation was taking place. A lot of exploitation about the street life, like pimps, hoes, and hustlers, you know. But you also had the righteous ones too. The righteous black man who was trying to stop the dope pushers, like in the Mac. Okay, I think one movie out the 70s that was real decent, and a message to learn from that was Cooley High. You know what I'm saying? How Cold Cheese, he did his homie wrong by sleeping with his girl, but regards to the fact that he did that to him, Preach still try to have his back, but it was too late. Okay, how you don't really let stuff like that breaking your friendship up. Okay, mainly a woman. All right, because as we should have brotherly love towards one another, you know, especially for us ones that's in this truth, man. Okay, but I might make a part 2 of this. This is kind of good. It's a good topic. I'm almost, you know, at 20 minutes. But like I said, there's numerous of movies, man. Numerous of movies, you know, that has a positive message. But we didn't look into that. We looked into the bad side of things, and we were influenced by the bad side of a lot of the movies, man. All right. But like I said, I might make a part 2. I might not, man. I always say that, and I don't end up doing it. It all just how my mind frame is, how my thoughts is, and how the spirit goes. All right. But with that, I just want to give all praises to the Most High. Peace and blessings to you, brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Keep seeking the Heavenly Father through His Son. Don't give up. And endure to the end. All right. With that, I just say peace.